what I've done is I've got the hacksaw and I've cut the tin into probably a quarter. The reason why I cut it into a quarter is that I have a bit of a habit of overfilling the tin. So if I cut it to this size here, it's easy for us to view, and also it's easy for me to keep a track of myself, because I'm just going to, knowing me, all I want to do is just fill it up to the top. That's how we got to this stage. I know. Just clean the inside. Still has a little bit of sharp. Since cutting it, I have filed off some of the bigger burrs, but there's still a burr on there that can cut you. Anyway, that's done. All we need to do now is put our bits of plastic in. This way it's easier for me to see how I'm going. The way I've been cutting the DVD cases up is with a pair of garden cutters. Works quite well for the purpose. Alright, put that in the oven. I've gone with the plastic as high as I want to go. All we now have to do is wait for the bubbles to rise to the surface. They will rise, and we'll see how long they take. Be a few hours, I reckon. Hour, two, won't be an hour, but at least 2-3 hours. I keep it at the same temperature. Right, it's about 180 degrees. Update on the bubble removal. It's probably been about, haven't really taken too much notice, but it's probably been about an hour to get to that stage. And yeah, another hour or so, I reckon the bubbles might be gone. The bubbles do come to the surface. I'll let you stare at some bubbles for a little while. This has probably been about half hour after I showed you last. The bubbles pretty much have mostly all gone. There are still a few bubbles in there, so we'll continue to wait longer. My, that looks pretty good. Can't see any bubbles in that. Oh, maybe tiny couple ones, but that's pretty good. It's probably another half hour since I've gave you the last update. That's quite good actually. Almost thinks that I should try again with the big one. Another attempt at the big one maybe. The only problem with that is you need to leave it in there quite a long time. So that's only just a small one. Something like that you probably have to leave in there probably 4 or 5 hours or even 6 hours to get a full melt like that. But that's quite good actually. Quite happy with that. Oh, cook it a little bit longer, then we'll probably another half hour. I'll put the timer on. Then g'day. This is the second time I've shot this footage. The first time the files didn't transfer through to the computer and I lost it. Oh no, it doesn't matter. Alright, so basically the thing is I've taken it out of the oven. This is the small one, and it's worked quite well. I've got a solid bit of plastic, as you can see. Okay, there are a couple of little minor problems, but I think they're only just basically surface detail. We've just got these bits around the outside. One minor thing, it may be because we use different type of scratch that. In the plastic that we had selected, there were different manufacturers. Okay, with the DVD cases, there were different manufacturers of the cases. So whether that had an effect, I don't know. But as you can see here, you can see a slightly discoloration in here. And up here as well, and some over the other side. That's not bubbles, that's like a discoloration within the plastic itself. It's whether that plastic that I'd used, maybe it's just a shade colour off or something like that, but that's what we're getting at, discoloration. You know, all this stuff here should clean up, so that shouldn't be a problem. Yeah, so that's worked quite well. The detail is pretty sharp and crisp. I think I was a little bit impatient when I come to doing the big one, because I got to a certain stage, then I think the time was, that was my thing. If I'd left it in there longer, I reckon I would have got a much better melt than what I did. Yeah, so the small one, that's a success. The big one, I think, is a success up to probably be about there, because it looks all pretty much the same as this one, up to about that spot there. What we can do is with this one is we can cut it and we can clean it up, then put it back into the oven to melt down and have another go. But I know, small one works fine. I don't have a problem with that. We'll see what we can do with that. G'day. Out of the DVD cases, I had a couple of light green ones, so I thought I'd give those a go, and that's come out quite well. The only issue at the moment is oh well, there's no issue, but the common thing amongst all the melts that I've done is that I'm getting this brown effect. It's almost like it's probably that I'm heating the plastic up too much. So what I need to do is I need to find a balance between how hot I can heat it while it actually melts and conforms to what we need. I mean, if I didn't get it to like get to a stage that it's more liquid to flow better, then that would have been alright if I had a press to press the plastic down, and we wouldn't get those. But because I don't have a press, then I need to make the plastic flow a bit better. So I just up the temperature a bit. So I don't have too much of a temperature range with the sorry, what I mean is I don't have too much fine control over the temperature range that I've got on the oven, unless I converted it over to like a digital readout. But anyway, yeah, so that's all right. So what I might do is, what I need something bigger so I can, because that's a bit too small. So that would be all right for the up above, but at the bottom it's just too small. So I think the polypropylene might do the trick. I just need to get a bigger container, and we'll see how we go with that. That might be the go. Anyway, what I'll try and do is I'll see if I can reduce the temperature down a bit to remove the brown. Other than that, that's worked out quite well. Have to see how it turns on the lathe, but I'm quite happy with that at the moment. Alright, see ya.